Ruben Amorim demands Ineos to sign Viktor Gyokeres this January window.
What?
Yep, you heard it correct. But in order to do so, Man United need to offload players to afford Viktor Gyokeres, who is leaving the club on the high wage bill earners. So many questions. Perhaps we got the answers. So welcome to Mufc RealistTV and Mick Ruby. Stick around because this is a jam-packed done deal show. Are you ready to get into the game? Let's do this. Morning everyone, it's January the 2nd, the transfer window is officially open and there's some jam-packed reports that Ruben Amorim, as is the main story, wants Viktor Gyokeres in this January window instead of summer. What is that all about? Wake up, smell the coffee, stretch your arms and limbs and legs, whatever you do, and do us a favor because we've got a jam-packed show for you. Like and subscribe and let's get right into the show. Let's have a sip on the coffees, everyone. Well, let's get right into the transfer show, shall we? Because the January window, as we deluded, is right wide open. We know that Manchester United are fairly confident in signing a left-back early this January window. This was reported by Fabrizio Romano. Of course, we've been crying out for a left-back for 18 months, but this is something that's been brewing up. Of course, Milos Kerkez is one of the top targets from Bournemouth, but the ones that is the prime target is Nuno Mendez. What is the story regarding Nuno Mendez? Will it be a Nuno Mendez to Manchester United? Stick around for that one, but also Miguel Gutierrez from Girona is high target, and Alvaro Caracas Fernandez, which is the former Manchester United Academy starlet that is currently available for a buyback clause. Furthermore, it's also been reported, if we dive right into the latest tweet, just in that Ruben Amorim wants to sign a left wing back in the January transfer window, but there's also a desire to sign a forward and a striker, according to Rich Fay. Interesting. So we know that we are potentially looking at the three signings, but where is the money coming from? Okay, a left back in terms of Nuno Mendez, and who's the striker and who's the midfielder? Well, of course, Sverre Nypan wasn't reported from Rosenborg to be one of the cheap midfield signings. But what does Manchester United need to do in order to do financial fair play? Let's dive right into that story as well, because what is important is that Man United need to sell to buy. It's always been the case, right? Because Fabrizio Romano also reported in 2025, this year, in 26, financial fair play is going to be really important topic for Man United. Generating revenues for players' sales is very important for the club, according to Fabrizio Romano. Well, also, Amorim came out to say in the latest reports and interview that he knows about the situation. We need to sell to buy. In order to get a Viktor Gyokeres, what do we need to do? Well, let's continue with the stories, because basically Gyökeres is a 63 million January transfer window. What is that all about? The latest reports, according to here, what you can see, the latest tweets coming out, that new Manchester United are kind of preparing part ways with Joshua Zirkzee in January to help raise funds to sign a Viktor Gyokeres, the Swedish striker, likely to cost around £63 million. This is coming from Tutto Juve, and we know that Tutto Juventus wants the Joshua Zirkzee. Latest transfer news live, it says also the Man United will reportedly to try to sign Viktor Gyokeres this month in a bid to save their season. Guys, this is fantastic news. This is music to my ears, but what does it stem to? Well, it comes down to the 0-2 loss against Newcastle, where Ruben Amorim saw enough of Zirkzee and hooked him off in the 33 minute instead of touching Rasmus Højlund. I feel really sorry for the Bologna striker in terms of Zirkzee, and he was booed out, and the coach was ruthless to took him out. But the simple fact is that United need an elite goal scorer. That is arguably to say that he wasn't his signing. Zirkzee was not his signing. Rasmus Højlund, he's been given chances, and Rasmus Højlund is still young, developing, but Rasmus Højlund was never meant to be to lead the line. Instead, he's turning his eyes And he knows that the one that could save his season, to understand his system, is Viktor Gyokeres. Marcus Rashford is arguably to be sold, not being given a start for 4 games, being kept on the bench last time against Newcastle. That is the one to keep an eye for in the shopping window. But, there's some crux to the story, because at the end of the day, the head coach, Ruben Amorim, already demanded to the Ineos, apparently by the reports, that Viktor Gyokeres' signature from Sporting Lisbon will rather be now in January than wait for the summer. While we're sitting 14th on the league, of course, some reports saying that we are fighting a relegation battle. A signing of a left wing back in terms of Nuno Mendez, which we're going to talk about later on, and Viktor Gyokeres can change the overall trajectory in how the season is shaping. What they say that football is played in 2 halves, and so is a season as well. We are now entering the second half of the Premier League. According to the Daily Star as well, they have claimed that Sporting president Frederico Varandas will ask the Old Trafford outfit to pay the Swede a 60 million pounds to release him. Of course, they had a gentleman's agreement. Some reports saying that there is a release clause on 60 million pounds, on 80 million pounds euros for Viktor Gyokeres. But the 26-year-old now is said to believe that he wants to join Ruben Amorim. Of course, Amorim wants Gyökeres now. Of course, this sets alarm bells out for the remaining of the Europe. Now, listen, at the end of the day, what makes us so confident to sign him at the end of the day? Listen, at the moment, he's a hot prospect. Everyone wants Viktor Gyokeres, and congratulations for him reaching the top goal scorer in 2024 by reaching 62 goals. 62 goals. He's leading the goal scoring line over Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Lewandowski. And some people say, well, it's only Portuguese league. But listen, you already played in Champions League. You scored multiple goals. So this is something that I will put my money into my mouth. Put the money into the mouth and get Viktor Gyokeres over the line. Do you believe that Man United will get him over the line in January? According to some reports, is that he is losing his patience. I mean, we're talking about Amorim. He wants Gyökeres in right here, right now, instead of waiting for the summer window. But in order to do so, Man United need to offload players. And who will that be? Of course, we need to sell to buy. Casimiro is one of the high earners in the club, earning 375k a week. That is 18 million on the wage bill. We see that Al Ittihad Saudi clubs are interested, takes Casimiro over, and he is not the one for the future. And Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is kind of pushing that out of the door. They try to do that in the summer window, but also Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, as we've been seeing, has not played with the first team for the past 4 games. Last game against Newcastle, he was sitting on the bench, only to be a prop for the January transfer window. They didn't want to play him because to risk him, if we were to play against Newcastle, maybe he picked up a knock, and that would be non-sellable assets. Instead of not playing him, they just put him on the bench to display. So Marcus Rashford is the one to look out for. This is going to be a bomber in the transfer window. Where will Marcus Rashford go? Apparently, he's earning 325k a week pounds, but some reports saying these actual figures is 365. So there's massive money to be saved there. Another one, sacrificial lamb, of course, we need to get rid of this summer window, is Christian Eriksen. And reports saying that he is off to Italy. Christian Eriksen is sitting on a wage of 150k. So 3 players that Manchester United can offload, but also we need to sell players that is valuable assets. And the latest reports regarding who is leaving the club is Diogo Dalot to facilitate the move. Let's continue. Diogo Dalot to Real Madrid. Wow, this is interesting. The latest report saying that Real Madrid are plotting a 50 million pound bid in January for Diogo Dalot. That will fit, basically they need a right back. They have money to spend, but in order to do so, their first prime target was Trent Alexander-Arnold, but his intentions is to stay at Liverpool to see things out this season, potentially win the Premier League and come in January for free. Well, why not? This is smart business. This is what Real Madrid always do. They always go for players for free. They will never pay, but they need a right back ASAP in January window, and they got money to burn. And Diogo Dalot is a target, which they really want. So smart business. Get one, Get 2 buy 1 for free. So basically, this is what's going on according to Fabrizio Romano. Despite Liverpool reject any approach in the January move, Real Madrid remain fully focused on Trent Alexander-Arnold deal for July as a free agent. Wow. Now, breaking news that Real Madrid are interested in Diogo Dalot and the asking price is £50 million. Will this happen? I mean, arguably to say we need to make waves. So if we want to have a left wing back, you got to look at what is sellable, right? On the right, of course, you can say that Diogo Dalot could be a nice fringe player to play as a right wing back, but that we are really covered because there we have Mazarabi can play there. We have Amad Diallo can play there. And who else can play there? Anthony, of course. We'd be good. So in order to do so, you need to sell valuable players. Some reports also saying that Garnacho is a surplus for requirement, but he's still young. You know, there was a report that Real Atletico Madrid was also interested in him and really keen to offer about 60 million euros for him. So there is money to be raised in order to get a Viktor Gyokeres over the line and a left wing back, which is crucial for Amorim's 3-4-3 system. Let's continue with the stories. And by the way, let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Would you sell Diogo Dalot to raise money to get a Gyökeres and a left wing back? And Marcus Rashford, where will we go? Well, obviously, Rashford's swap deal for Nuno Mendez seems to be on. We know that Amorim has made Nuno Mendez his prime target as a left wing back. We know that PSG interest in the summer for Marcus Rashford was hot, but they cooled off. But now, with this current situation, Man United wants Nuno Mendez. PSG don't want to play him because they don't play wing backs, they play a defensive style. So they already got that covered. Nuno Mendez doesn't want to sign a new contract extension with PSG. He wants Man United. Apparently, reports saying that his personal terms agreed with his agent and Manchester United, and PSG wants 55 million for him. Would it be a potential swap deal in that case that Marcus Rashford goes to PSG? The valuation of Marcus Rashford is £60 million, but he's also a homegrown talent, that means if we offload Rashford with his wages of 365k a week, that is a homegrown FFP plus on the books, would help United to move further on the transfer window. Would you do that? That's going to be the one to watch. In order to do so, both clubs need to agree. That's going to be a very, very interesting topic to watch and probably the bomber of this January window. Moving forward, free agents. Dani Olmo, as we've seen reported, is now officially a free agent as of today. As Barcelona failed to register him, Dani Olmo has a very interesting situation. Now, PSG might look at him, City might look at him, Arsenal might look at him, but however, Dani Olmo, exclusive, according to his agent, wants to stay at Barcelona because at the end of the day, if we look at the Transfer New Live, if Dani Olmo chooses to become a free agent, Barcelona would still be obliged to pay his entire salary until 2030. Wow. As I thought that Man United was in a mess, Barcelona is even in a further mess the way they're run, along with up to 48 million euros to RB Leipzig for the transfer fees. Wow. Right. So La Liga, according to Fabrizio Romano, has rejected them to sort of registering. So it is a twisting story. If Dani Olmo decides to leave, he can actually leave on a free agent. They still have to pay his wages and RB Leipzig the 48 million. However, there could be a story in this case that he is loyal to Barcelona to honor his contract, so he can actually be loaned out to Manchester United. You know, Man United will pay his wages, you know, to really help Barcelona because they don't need to have to pay his wages. We loan him with an obligation to buy for 6 months. While we get Rashford out of the door, we need Dani Olmo to play. He can play as a left side at number 10 alongside Bruno because guess what? Who is injured? Mason Mount until March. So we definitely would need a Dani Olmo to come in. However, Man United could also get him on the free. Depends on how shrewd his agent is and what they really want. And Barcelona can be in the mud. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Do you think that Dani Olmo will choose Man United over Arsenal, over City, over PSG? Because this is a hot prospect about to heat up. Let me know in the comment section if it's a loan with an obligation or non-obligation to buy. I think it will be perfect for Dani Olmo to come to Manchester United. So to summarize certain things in the January transfer window, I do see Manchester United spend a little bit, but it all depends on the sales of Rashford, Casimiro, Dalot, Eriksen, and potentially a few academy players. Why academy players? Because academy players are pure profit FFP. Nuno Mendez, according to my opinion, could be a one to watch in the January windows in the next couple of weeks. Also, according to the Plettigol from Sky Sports in Germany, but I see potentially a loan with an option to buy in the summer. Potentially a swap deal for Nuno Mendez versus Marcus Rashford, but also Dani Olmo. It's a loan deal to be made by Manchester United. And also, Man United to go all in for Viktor Gyokeres. Keep your eyes on that one. I still believe that we can do this. Ruben Amorim needs a potent goal scorer. He needs the killer to finish off the dinner. But in order to do so, my famous conclusion, United need to crack a few eggs in order to make an omelette. But the question is, will it be with bacon? Anyway, guys, please, hope you enjoyed this summary, this transfer paper talks. It's been Mick Ruby from Mufc RealistTV. We'll be back with further updates. This is the season we love. This is the transfer window. Will Man United do business? Will Man United sign Viktor Gyokeres, Dani Olmo for free, and also Nuno Mendez is left back? Let me know in the non-live comment sections. See you till the next time. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Peace.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.